You can be the most loyal person when it comes to being in a relationship and still want cheat meals. Burgers and fries, pizza, ice cream, crumble cookies. The stuff that tastes so good it almost feels illegal. We all want more of them, but we all know the cost. Massive calories, water retention, bloat, and that fear we all get afterward. Wondering if we just erased a week's worth of progress in one sitting. But what if I told you something different? What if cheat meals didn't ruin your progress? What if they could actually help your fat loss when used the right way? Sounds fake, sounds too good to be true, but it's real if you follow the system. In this video, I'm going to break down how to eat cheat meals and still lose weight without guilt, without binging, and without ruining your momentum. Let's build brick by brick. First, stop calling them cheat meals. Here's the truth nobody admits. You're not cheating if you planned it. The word cheat meal subconsciously makes people feel shame, guilt, or like they're breaking their diet. But what actually ruins progress isn't the food, it's the mindset. So instead of cheat meal, call it a refeed, a free meal, an off-plan meal, or just food. What matters is how intentional you are. And here's the cheat code most people miss. Just plan your favorite foods into your weekly diet so you never feel like you messed up when you eat them. Follow the 80-20 rule. Make 80% of your diet clean, whole, goal-focused foods, and let 20% be the foods you love. When you build them into your routine, they're no longer cheats. They're just part of the plan. Cheating is only cheating when you say you'll eat one way and go against your word and eat another way. If you tell yourself you cheated, you'll be more likely to spiral. If you treat it as part of your plan, you stay in control. Cheat meals, not cheat days. This one rule can save your entire cut. A cheat meal is one meal, not a full day, a full weekend, or a vacation-long food marathon. One meal, enjoy it, get right back on track. Losses happen when people turn a burger and fries into a burger and fries plus dessert plus snacks plus brunch and a caramel frappe tomorrow. One meal won't ruin your progress. A 72-hour eating bender might. So, how often should you have them? It depends on your goal. If your priority is putting on muscle, 2 free meals per week is totally fine. If you're trying to lose fat, have them less often. Ideally, once per week, max. And if your fat loss is slowed, make it once every 10 to 14 days. The leaner you get, the more disciplined you need to be. Remember, free meals are wanted, not needed. You don't need them for fat loss. They're just there to help you stay consistent mentally. The 3-part brickbody cheat meal system. Most people think these off-plan meals are random, but if you use them the right way, they become a weapon. The system is simple. 1, pre-meal workout. 2, the meal itself. 3, post-meal workout. Let's break down each part. Part 1, the pre-cheat workout. This is where we earn the meal. Not because you need to work for food, but because it'll prep your body to use the extra carbs efficiently. When you know you got a good meal coming, you'll naturally train harder. You push heavier weight, you get a bigger pump, you stay more focused. It's psychological, not metabolic. But we're not burning extra calories to try to offset the meal. That's not how fat loss works. We're simply emptying glycogen stores, increasing insulin sensitivity, and creating a window where your body will better use the carbs you're about to give it. Train hard before your cheat meal. Upper body, lower body, full body, it doesn't matter. Just push yourself. Part 2, the cheat meal itself. Here's the rule most people miss. Your cheat meals don't have to be dirty. You don't have to eat crumble cakes, fried chicken, milkshakes, and massive desserts. You can, but you don't have to. A free meal just means it's off plan. It doesn't mean it has to be reckless. The ideal cheat meal is built on 3 things. 1, always include protein. It keeps you full and makes it harder to binge. 2, go higher carb to fill glycogen. This sets you up for a stronger workout tomorrow. 3, keep fats lower if possible. Fat has 9 calories per gram, double carbs and protein, which makes it extremely easy to overeat. Your goal isn't to stuff yourself. Your goal is to enjoy the food you crave without wrecking your calories for the week. As for me, my go-to free meals are usually the same: sushi, Wingstop, and Philly cheesesteaks. Planning your favorites into your routine makes the whole process sustainable, enjoyable, and guilt-free. Part 3, the post-cheat workout. Put it to use. This here is the secret. Your body is fueled. Your glycogen is topped off. You slept well from the food coma. Now you take all that extra energy and you go train. Choose a workout that normally drains you. Legs, back, or a weak body part. The goal is simple. Turn last night's calories into strength, reps, and performance. If you use the cheat meal to fuel harder training, you win. If you use a cheat meal to fuel 2 days of Netflix, you lose. The walking rule. This is the simplest part of the entire video. After your cheat meals, go on a 10 to 20 minute walk. Not for calorie burning, but for digestion. Walking helps reduce bloat, prevent that heavy stomach feeling, and limits blood sugar spikes. It's one of the easiest ways to not feel so foggy and tired after a high-carb meal. Let's talk about water, sodium, and bloating. Cheat meals usually come with sodium bombs. Pizza, fries, ramen, sushi, all loaded with salt. This means you will hold water the next morning. That's normal. That's expected. That's not fat. Fix it by drinking water before bed, drinking water the next morning, and getting your steps in. Your weight will go up, then it will come right back down. Don't panic. And here's a little cheat code I personally use. Go to the sauna the next morning. 15 minutes in the sauna helps me sweat out some of that extra water, reduces the bloat, and just makes me feel lighter and cleaner after a high sodium meal. It's not fat loss, it's just water weight, but it helps me feel back to normal faster. Here's the one thing you never do after a cheat meal. Never, and I mean never, skip your next day's meals. People panic, think they messed up, and go, I'm not eating breakfast tomorrow. Terrible idea. That leads to more cravings, more binges, worse workouts, slower fat loss. Get right back on plan. Your normal eating routine is what makes the cheat meal harmless. But here's the nuance. If you're not truly hungry the next morning, it's okay to skip breakfast. Listen to your body. Just don't do it as punishment for what you ate. Skipping meals out of guilt is what leads to binges, not fat loss. Cheat meals only ruin progress when they turn into emotional eating, binge episodes, I already messed up, so let me keep going, spirals, or a reward system for stress. Cheat meals should feel planned and calm, not compulsive or chaotic. If you can't stop once you start, you need to simplify your food environment and remove trigger foods until you build discipline. Remember, discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about staying in control. And that's why boundaries matter. If you don't learn to control your cravings, then food and your belly become the master, and you become the slave. Build the discipline now so you stay in charge, not your impulses. Here's how to add cheat meals without stalling fat loss. Let's do the math. Cheat meals don't stall progress when your weekly calories are still in a deficit. Meaning, if you normally eat 2,000 calories a day and on Saturday you eat 3,000, that's just an extra 1,000. Spread it across the week. Barely makes a dent. Most people overestimate what one meal does and underestimate what 7 days of consistency does. Your cheat meal isn't a problem. Your Monday to Friday inconsistency is. And here's another strategy that makes this even easier. You can eat slightly less calories for a few days before and after a cheat meal. Not starving yourself, not punishing yourself, just tightening things up. This creates a small buffer so the higher calorie meal doesn't push your weekly calories out of a deficit. It's simple, flexible, and one of the easiest ways to enjoy free meals while still losing weight. Here's what I believe. You don't need perfection to get lean. you need repeatability. If a weekly or bi-weekly cheat meal helps you stay consistent, avoid binges, enjoy life, and stick to your routine long term, then it's not hurting your progress. It's helping it. Being healthy and in shape isn't about punishment or military-style discipline. It's about rhythm. It's about sustainability. It's about building a body brick by brick, one decision at a time. If you want weekly breakdowns like this, more tips, food strategies, and the simplest fat loss systems on the internet, join the Brickbody Brief, my free weekly newsletter. The link's in the description. Cheat meals aren't the enemy. Lack of structure is. Plan it, enjoy it, train hard, get right back on track. That's how you lose weight and enjoy your life. And if you want more videos like this, or you want to support the movement, we just launched Brick Lady, the women's side of the channel. Links are in the description. See you in the next one.